Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king. That's been all. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua, Gangsta Time Code.
It's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, Chris? What up, everybody listening?
Yeah. Also joining us is the disembodied voice of our producer. It is Edgelord, Big News Brian.
なんというビッグニュース
Brian? He vanished. Well, I imagine he says hello, dorks, nerds, whatever he calls us all the time. It's very offensive. But yeah, we got a fun show for you guys today. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into plugs really fast. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
JD Cole _37. That's on Instagram. And at NY Chillin' with an EN, not an ING. That's on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Brian, are you back? All right, I'll do his plugs. You can find him at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. He's here. I know it. He's just being shy. Follow him on that. Or check him out on twitch.tv/It's Punchline. Check him out. He plays video games in a very fun way. So, yeah, do that. You can check out the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter especially because we do a really good chapter of the week poll, and we do have the results for that this week. So, you know, come on every Sunday around when the manga chapter comes out on the Viz official release, and we will put out the poll then. You can vote for your favorite series. You can also hit us up on at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want to talk to us about. We'll talk to you about. Or you can comment on whatever video you're watching, whether it's the full version or the little highlight breakouts we make for every series. So check us out, comment below, and while you're at it, give us a subscribe, share the video, give us a like. That would be very appreciated. And I guess that's it. Without further ado, we can get the show started, I suppose. Blam! My Hero Academia. This is My Hero Academia, chapter 337, A Disposable Life.
A disposable life.
Yeah, pretty intense for a chapter title. Last we left off with My Hero Academia, it was revealed that Yuga is the traitor behind everything that's been going on with UA since the beginning. He's been All For One's mole on the inside, and Midoriya and Hagakure are linking up to confront him. Yuga's also joined by his parents, who met up with him to kind of discuss the particulars of Aoyama not wanting to work for All For One anymore and just trying to explain to him that they have to because All For One will kill them. So, you know, they just got caught and the parents immediately just carry him away and try to run for it. Of course, Midoriya and Hagakure give chase, and we get a little bit more of backstory with Aoyama, talking about how it wasn't just him who was just like scared of being different. His parents, who both came from wealthy and privileged families and never really wanted for anything in their own upbringing, were just afraid to come off as less than because Aoyama didn't have a quirk. I think it's unclear whether they had quirks or not, and Aoyama is just kind of like an outset, a lot like Midoriya.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's actually something I definitely didn't think about because I just kind of assumed they did. And which is why they made such a big deal about him not having a quirk. But I think either way, maybe like that was something they didn't have to worry too much about because they grew up with a lot of, you know, money anyway.
Yeah.
But maybe they're living a more humble lifestyle than from their respective parents' upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm going to just go with that they had.
No, yeah, I think it doesn't really matter either way. I just think it's an interesting thing to think about. But apparently, you know, after after hearing that there's some guy out there who can give people quirks, they pretty much go to him. And ever since then, Aoyama's like quirk was a poor fit for his body, so he was suffering a lot. Somehow, like, his parents got him this the tool that he uses to shoot the laser out of his belly button, and Aoyama was just like so happy to not have to worry about being different, about having a quirk, about fitting in. And at some point, he wanted to kind of like pay them back for everything that they'd done for him. But then, as time goes, you see like all the price he's basically had to pay for getting this power, which is just kind of like selling out his friends at every turn. We see him. I don't know where the scene is. I guess like maybe it's the scene where the big battle in the city. I don't know if this is the war effort where he's behind that pillar or whatever. There's also him at the training camp where he was hiding from Dabi and Twice.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I think when he had the cave, I think that was when they was at the training site.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned.
Yeah, where he was hiding in the bush. That was definitely the training camp thing.
No. Prior to that, when you said in the destroyed buildings, I think that was actually the one of the training zones. Remember when they went to that off-site campus?
Oh, the USJ where Midoriya first came. Where Shigaraki first. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
That led me to believe that it was
13. How about that? Get it together.
Same shit.
Yeah. I mean, we thought it was the mouse.
I was close. It was 13 the unlucky number, 7 is the lucky.
Hey, you got it. You were close.
No, I didn't.
I'll give it to you. Hey, I'll give you the credit. Partial credit. So apparently, we get this little moment. We get what All For One is telling him through each one of these moments, informing where your class is going to be isolated. Tell me the location of your training camp. And now the most recent, I guess, order is that now that Izuku Midoriya has returned to UA, lure him somewhere alone.
Before you even move forward, let me tell you, between what was said in that last bubble and what's about to happen on the next couple pages, I freaked the fuck out until I realized it wasn't the case. Let's move on. I just wanted to wanted to get that out first.
Okay.
And I'll break it down now.
Okay. So he basically, Aoyama says that, as he proclaims that as that note he left, when he learned that, like me, you were born quirkless, I fell into despair, and he immediately just like blasts a laser out of his belly button, tries to attack Midoriya. Midoriya uses his one for all to do something, but luckily Hagakure is there, and she uses her quirk, which is her ability to refract light. Lasers from his belly button is still light. So this has been done before. We've seen this before off of Hagakure, that her ability has to do with refracting light and reflecting it. And it is the source of her invisibility. And when she blocks the attack, she says that we could have been killed time after time, and now that all the Japan is totally messed up, what was going through your head this whole time? And she's just like really hammering in the questions to like, what the fuck were you thinking this entire time? And then Midoriya steps in, uses his black whip, captures all 3 of the traitors, and Midoriya is just like, listen now, Yama, Hagakure just did you a favor. She doesn't want anyone else getting hurt, okay? And he tells him to just stop and let this be over, as Midoriya is just like weeping over him. Obviously hurt.
All right. I thought, because of that bubble saying to lure him outside where he won't, you know what I'm saying? I realized, oh shit, they're in the forest pretty much alone. You know what I'm saying? And then he shot his laser and it hit Hagakure, and I was like, oh my god, is he like outing her as a traitor too? Because she was supposed to like,
she
was out in the woods and ran into You know, my mind went crazy, and then literally on the next page, I was like, "Oh, never mind."
No. Actually, that's like a good point. I didn't think of that, but I was like, I wouldn't have hated it if that happened. If she was, what if she's still playing like the act where she's just like, damn, the cover's blown anyway. I might as well like finish this solo dolo. I doubt it though. I think Aoyama might be the only traitor for now, at least. Hagakure is too much of a red herring now, and I don't trust it. But
right, she did go out of his way
yeah,
to like to out him. You know what I'm saying? That didn't make any sense the way it's set up.
yeah.
But for her to give him up, and I let my imagination get at me.
No, I mean, hey, it's all right. It's not unfeasible. I don't think so. So we cut to inside UA. The Aoyama and his parents are bound to chairs, and All Might, the principal, Present Mike, Ectoplasm, and the cop guy are just kind of like debriefing the situation. Principal Nezumi asked the children to leave, and they're like, no.
And he rolls up his sleeves. Huh. Like, kids, I'm going to need you guys.
Is he rolling up his sleeves? He's not rolling up his sleeves.
No, he's not. I'm making that up. That's what in my mind, that's how he said that. Like, yeah, rest you kids get out of here because it's about to get me.
You want to know why he's telling them to leave the room? Because he's the traitor,
dude,
and he's trying to help them.
I'll be honest, I thought the same thing. It's like, why is he telling them to leave?
But to believe the adults, what's he going to set it on them? Are they all traitors? Damn. All of them?
No, but I guess he just asked the kids only to leave. It would have been weird if he told everybody in the room to leave. He's like, don't worry, I, the principal, got this. But I doubt it.
Maybe Ectoplasm is the terrorist.
Oh my god.
Is he so lame?
Is he? He's
Maybe
not lame.
Because he's being a hero.
Ectoplasm? He's alright. He's not the greatest. He's cool.
He's a poor man's Dobby.
Ectoplasm? How?
He makes clones of himself that do nothing but get beat up.
How does that make him Dobby? Dobby makes the hottest fire imaginable.
Not Dobby.
Think about twice.
Oh, old man's, poor man's twice.
Poor man's twice. Oh, speaking of.
Yeah.
Well, not in the context of something.
Anyway.
So yeah, the family's tied up.
Yeah, they're just like, what's going on, Aoyama? What were you planning if Hagakure never got caught? And
right, what was you about to do, bro?
Yeah, what was going on, bruh? Aoyama doesn't say nothing. Aoyama doesn't sing, but his dad sure does. His dad is like,
he's the solid, but his dad, he's a bitch.
He said he'll kill us. He'll kill us if we know nothing. If we don't do anything. And he says he'll kill you now. And he apparently, all for one, murdered somebody in front of them to like give an example. It was some lackey who surrendered to the police, and they were killed as soon as they were leaving the prison. That was crazy. All Might takes care of his business. Not All Might. All for One takes care of his business.
He sure does.
You got to give it to him.
Thorough.
Yeah. So basically, everybody's like, he had no way to know what happened. And Aoyama starts to talk now, where he's just like, your deaths could have been very well on my head, and yet I found myself smiling alongside you all as if we were friends. He basically,
'cause you fake.
Yeah, fake ass. And he basically says that like once he learned that Midoriya was quirkless, he just like started to feel this crushing guilt because he was quirkless. His parents, I guess, assumingly, were afraid of him being quirkless, and they didn't take the hard way out. They basically took the easy way and just had All for One, made a deal with the devil essentially just to fit in, while Midoriya, a quirkless boy, is now standing up to All for One. The exact opposite of what his family did, essentially. So he's just like, I'm rotten to the core. Yuga Aoyama, am a villain through and through. And that's when Deku is just like, then why did you try to save Bakugo and Tokoyami in the forest? And we cut back to when he lasered off his face that one time.
True that.
Yeah, and then we are reminded of the message that he made in Cheese Pieces. Why did you do this? Like, even though that you were following his orders, all of these were like cries for help. And he starts to think about Lady Nagant, who is in a similar situation to Aoyama, where she was a good person, but she was just manipulated by him, and she didn't. At the end of the day, she didn't give up everything to All for One. So it's not too late for Aoyama. Take my hand, you can be a hero, and that's where the chapter ends.
Kugo was like,
I see.
I
see.
I don't know. I think it seems like he's like seeing something positive here, but in my head canon, right? Like same with the mouse guy with the mouse principle. I think he's like, yeah, Deku is a grade A chump. Aoyama's the snake that needs to be cut.
No, Bakugo says
you know
that.
what I'm saying? He's learning. Says like, yeah, I see. Like what it really means to be a hero. Smoke this nigga right now. I've heard enough.
No, Bakugo says that I get it now. So I think what they're gonna do is try to make Aoyama into a double agent. So that's interesting enough. That's where the chapter ends, by the way.
They trying to get him squeezed. That's the they try. You think he's gonna be smooth enough to get around All for One?
Who knows? I mean, we don't know
His
their
name
plan.
is All for One, and he makes plans. But they had a death battle between Madara and Aizen.
Oh,
what they really should have did was Aizen versus All for One, since both of these are some planning ass motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he would have a plan for if Aoyama betrayed him. I think All for One would be smart enough for that.
I mean, Madara did scheme for mad long. I'll give it to him.
Yeah, but not on the level of Aizen, where Aizen was like, I planned the main character's birth. That was me. I planned for you to be born, Ichigo. I'm your daddy, metaphorically.
He may not be the greatest combat specialist, but goddamn, he will just still wreck your world.
Yeah.
Without even touching you.
Okay,
well,
so
anyway.
lots to unpack here. I know you guys have a lot of thoughts coming into this. I don't know which one of you guys want to go first.
Oh, I know Brian has so many thoughts, and he can't wait to share them.
Brian, let it rip. Beyblade, let it rip.
Okay. So, I think this chapter is another red herring. I think this chapter is setting up who the real traitor is.
I think Aoyama is a real traitor. He seems to be.
He is a real traitor, but I highly doubt that he is working alone in Yuga.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and that's what they're working towards. Is that once Aoyama has the confidence to like speak and to actually like say how he communicates with All for One and stuff like that. I feel like, if All for One has contingency plans, he's gonna have more than one mole in UA.
No, that makes sense.
Plus, he says friends. He does not say friend. He says friends.
We said that last week, Brian. Josh
yeah, and he says that several times. He could just be referring to Aoyama and his parents, but I doubt it.
No,
I feel like there's more to it.
We know who it is. Kamino. And he's gonna have an epic fight with Bakugo. And Bakugo is not gonna be able to deal with him that easy because he's smart, and he's gonna be like a chess match. He's gonna get mad. What? I'm telling you, all of this is gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, obviously, it's a very much a possibility that All for One could have multiple moles in UA. But
because Aoyama's such a wet noodle. I mean, the fear of death is strong, sure, but they could have got caught up. You know what I'm saying? Against his own will, just like now, at any point. You know what I'm saying? Like prior to this.
Yeah. Because
of the mistake they made on their end, because they're not professional fucking villains. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that kind of leads back to what I said a few chapters ago, where All for One's not the type to just put all his eggs in one basket, and something like a mole within UA or having an informant in UA is a huge deal. Especially, like he said, I heard All For One was going to be joining the school. You know what I'm saying?
Plus, one more thing. They made it a point to show that that Aoyama doesn't have the quirk explosion in him, like the shit that All For One did. So this happened before he had that quirk, I think.
You think?
What does that mean?
It means that he has to have like another contingency.
The explosion thing that he gave Nagant. I don't know.
No, I know.
I don't know if that's maybe.
No, I'm saying why? Why doesn't he have it in him? What does that mean?
Well,
and I wanted to drop too.
Here's the thing. I think maybe
what
he
does that mean?
Wait, hold on.
What does that mean?
I think he may have it. Who knows? Because All For One let Nagant go for a little bit before he did the explosion on her. But I doubt he'll do it to Aoyama. If he maybe I don't know.
So
Who knows?
you are on the side of this debate. You're on the side that believes that he is simply deciding not to do it.
Maybe. Who's to say? Yes,
that he has the explosion thingy in him.
Here's the thing. All For One could do whatever he wants because it's established he's a mastermind chess master. So
it has been established already.
So
he did defeat a person that can do anything they want, essentially, with a mild limit.
Yeah.
A vague limit, very vague limitations.
Just like two, you can only apply two laws to two things, which is a pretty super nerf.
Power cap,
yeah,
but you can get around that if you're creative enough anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. But to finish my thoughts, I do think that this is going to be the arc that begins everybody splitting up.
Splitting up?
Everybody, I think everybody's going to start splitting up now to handle their tasks. Like Todoroki and Endeavor are going to split up to go take care of Dabi.
Right.
Deku is going to take Aoyama, and he's going to go deal with All For One.
They're gonna pull up to headquarters without easy.
At least they're gonna use Aoyama as like a informant, like as a way to figure out how, like, what the function, what it's like, how to kind of understand how he functions.
I think his parents.
He's the only way. He's the only way for them to know how he works and like how to communicate with him. You know?
Well,
yeah, but like Brian, let me ask you something. Do you think he's gonna survive a 10-minute conversation with All For One?
I'll say this. It's also like how
he didn't answer yet either.
I'll say this. I don't think Aoyama is even that close because all of his communication has never been really with All For One in person. So he's not in the inner circle enough to just like pull up to headquarters. Probably there's going to be a lot of contingency.
He could draw them in and say, "I have some information."
Maybe. Who's gonna? They were probably.
But why would All For One pull up to him and be like, "Yes, tell me, young Aoyama."
Yes, I'll come out of my hidey hole and talk to you, young boy, who's just kind of out there, and I don't really consider anything important, really, in the grand scheme of things.
At a disclosed location only known to you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, all I'm saying is, All For One doesn't know if there's not another traitor. All For One doesn't know that the plan failed and that they can't get Deku isolated. So they could use Deku as a pawn in this instance to try to lure out a counterattack, you know?
Hmm. Yeah,
and they made a point to say that Ragdoll's quirk isn't in play anymore. So that means they can't really sniff out people around them.
He doesn't have search. So that's good.
Thank goodness. That was her quirk?
Yeah, search is, she could find anybody, basically. Or I guess like anybody she's met.
Telepathy.
No, that's the other one. There's 3 of them, plus the guy. There's the Earth lady, the Earthbender. There's the telepathy lady, and there's Ragdoll, who had search. All For One took Ragdoll at one point.
It was during the... Wasn't it during the training?
I remember that. I remember he took I thought he took the
Telepathy,
the
girl.
mind.
No.
The telepathy.
No.
What do you call that? That's telepathy, right? To be able
Yeah,
to speak
to be able to
with
speak
their
to
mind.
people. That's telepathy, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Real quick, my thoughts. I think I like this chapter a lot more than the last one. Here's the thing. I feel like this chapter should have probably been last chapter. I felt. I don't. Maybe this could have been done in the last chapter as well, and it could have closed off when Midoriya just stopped everyone. And was because we got the same information that we got in the last chapter, and it was just more exciting and more visual. It's more through flashback narration, actual physical examples of him telling All For One where they are. It's relaying the same information in a better way than last week, I think. So
last chapter was what, 15 pages?
Yeah, last chapter was really short. So I
that One Piece. Yeah, like this could have been one. I think he could have condensed this into one chapter, but here I go complaining about it not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
not condensing something when that's all I complain about usually that he.
And that's the only reason I say it.
Stuff. But it's different.
I think that's the only reason I say it, because if you chop off them explaining stuff to each other in the forest and replace it with this right here, same exact information, but it is more catered towards a visual medium, and it really just maximizes the drama, the dramatic tension, has some actual physical battle, like it's more of a visceral thing. We get a little moment from Hagakure, and this battle doesn't need to be a drawn out battle at all. So I'm actually cool with what happened here. I thought it was cool enough,
they basically repeated what the parents were saying out loud.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying is this could have been last chapter. Just cut out the paragraph bubbles of them just talking to each other and explaining this stuff to each other, because it's not natural, because everybody in that circle knows this information and they're just relaying it to each other for our sake, the audience. And this is a little better because it's an internal monologue where we're in the mind of Aoyama kind of expressing himself and where he's at in his head. That makes more sense to me than last chapter. I have no issue with Aoyama being the traitor. I don't think it's a bad twist. It was just an execution thing for me. But this is a lot better. I appreciate this more than last chapter. And I'm glad we got it in some fashion or another, because I could just pretend the last chapter didn't happen and this is the way we found out all the information we needed to know. But yeah, I mean, that's all. I'm ready
to see what happens next.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, all the drama shit. Oh God, Ayama, you win. All right, well, what are we gonna do now?
Yeah, I mean, it is not helped.
You riding, or we putting you in prison?
It is not helped by the fact that it doesn't really matter who the traitor was, because a lot of the support, it could have been anybody in the lower supporting cast. Aoyama out of say Shoji or Mineta or the tail guy, he's I guess the highest ranked of those bottom supporting cast.
You saying he was previously,
in the sense that
he is now?
In the sense of all of them getting their kind of shine and backstory told and stuff like that. We know more about Aoyama than we do about say Shoji or even Mineta at this point. We know,
right? Aside from the fact that he's a perv. Yeah,
the tail guy, Hagakure. We know it could have been any one of them, and that's also partly because the spy only gets brought up every other arc or so. It wasn't a massive mystery that was prevailing in the story, so that's why I guess it doesn't hit as hard. That's why it's the Aoyama type of thing. Because it's all right, I guess it was Aoyama.
Feels like it was just given, Yeah,
it could have
without too much build up.
Yeah,
it was on our mind, sure, but
we always talk about it.
I don't know. I hesitate sometimes because I feel let's see how he responds, but I don't know, man.
Well, we always talk about it.
I'm not all the way confident that he's going to prove that this drop was justified. It was done with purpose in the context of the story in the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like this maybe was done on a whim. Who knows, bro? I'm not writing this story.
No, I see the narrative significance of Aoyama and why he's the traitor. And, you know, like I said before, why he's kind of like just another mirror to what Deku is. Like Shigaraki is in Bakugo to a degree. You know, I get what he's going for, and that's why I'm like, this is not a bad twist at all. And I like Aoyama's backstory when it's like pushed up against Midoriya's and the contrast that's trying to be built there. There's just like weird execution things, and I'm not gonna get into it because I got into it last week. But I just do want to praise this chapter. I thought this was a pretty good one. I'll give this one my RGC, honestly.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Which is a little rough for me because I actually, going into this podcast, I didn't really know what my feelings were on this chapter, even though I've read it a couple times over. But I guess letting go and just judging it on its own, like the true unbiased king I am.
had to make a gut RGC call this week. It's not calling my hero though.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know if Brian's back yet, but I don't think he didn't say it was his RGC. So
RGC as well.
Damn it!
Certified RGC. Certified
Hey.
RGC. Certified RGC.
All right, I guess Brian's.
I'm a little surprised from you, Chris, to be honest.
Deku's speech pulled me over. Honestly,
I'll say
it's very one for all of Deku to say that kind of speech. You know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I gave it my RGC if only to, I guess, solidify what I was saying before versus what I said last week. And it's like, that's not how you do it, but this chapter is how you do it. This should have been last week.
The fact that last week there's not much change from this week to last week, and I kind of was already okay with last week. I wasn't as perturbed by it.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, as you, because I was really like looking towards thinking ahead towards the future. But getting this chapter kind of like mellowed me over.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't disappointed, but it definitely wasn't. It didn't build any hype. It kind of just, like you said, it was like a lateral move, right? You know, when the quarterback throws it to the wide receiver and they just make it to the line of scrimmage, it's just like, yeah, all right. Well, we didn't lose yards, I guess.
Well, that's that's the real knock on this chapter, if there is one. It's that, you know, this is last chapter. Half of this chapter was last chapter. But
well, I don't want to go in circles about that again.
Yeah, neither do I. But I think that's it, right? We should move on, yeah?
Yeah.
You ready?
Let's go! Jujutsu Kaisen! This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 168. Tokyo number 1 colony part 8. Last we left off, Megumi was getting it in, fighting with Reggie and a couple other sorcerers at the same time. And then all of a sudden an eyeball just like fell from the sky and actually blew up. That's exactly what it did. This eyeball just exploded. And we see on the roof there's this sorcerer who has the grossest jujutsu ability I've seen. I can, in my memory of Jujutsu Kaisen so far. It looks like he could just like pull off parts of his body and he gambits them and then they explode.
Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, he's like, it's like he charges them with spiritual, with energy, whatever, you know, whatever their fucking chakra is.
Jujutsu. Cursed energy?
Jujutsu energy. Cursed energy.
I don't know why we went through such a rigmarole.
Cursed energy, jeez. Well, you know, don't smoke weed, guys. Your memory will be shot like mine. What was mine? I forgot what I was even talking about, bro.
He charges up the thing with his jujutsu. Damn it, I almost went... Cursed energy, god damn it, what are we doing?
Yes. I made a mistake, because first of all, I'm scrambling because I downloaded the wrong chapter. So
oh, you got the bonus one?
I had it slow AF.
Did you get the bonus one?
Yeah. I didn't even read it yet. Oh, yeah, he charges his... Whatever body part he has, he charges it with, like, I guess,
Cursed energy.
kinetic energy that blows up.
Yeah.
AKA Gambit stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, but
Took all that time to explain that simple shit. But does this stuff grow back? Is his eyeball going to grow back? Is his teeth
that's the
gonna grow
question,
back?
man.
That part of his curse.
I guess it would
technique
have
too?
to, right? Because he does it with such confidence. It has to grow back, yeah?
Like, what is there to... Like, he started with his eyeball.
And he pulls out his teeth. This fucked me up.
Right. Maybe it's, like, just the easiest stuff. And it'll just regenerate.
Ooh,
the
man.
easiest stuff to take out without as much pain compared to everything else.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it freaked me the fuck out when, like, they show him, like, cracking his teeth off, and I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, you see the blood come out of his mouth.
That's
and
vicious,
his whole
dude.
eyeball's missing.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Whoa,
is
this guy's crazy.
Dude, this series is wild sometimes. So Megumi survived the initial explosion. Rami tries to do something with her scorpion hair, but Megumi...
Which is not an aircraft.
No, not an aircraft. Stops that immediately. And he just, like, drops her to the ground. Gambit teeth pulls up and is like, "Bow!" He throws his teeth. We see two...
Like cards.
Yeah, we see two receipts fly out of the smoke, and they turn into gasoline. And I think this guy's jujutsu power is that whatever he bought with that receipt, he can transform his receipt into what he bought with that. So
What?
this is my
How the
guess.
fuck did you know? What?
This is my guess. So
What's the other context? Am I
see
missing
this
something?
receipt? You know how it turns into gasoline? What if it's a receipt from a gas station? You bought gas.
Ooh.
I'm very smart.
Regular gas?
Yeah, gasoline. He said it's gasoline. Remember, like, you see these receipts turn into liquid and
Kevin
fall
Hart
on him,
reference.
and he says gasoline. Wait, what?
No, I said it was a Kevin Hart reference.
Oh.
Regular gas.
The regular.
It's like, you know how I knew you cheated? He was like, because I found a receipt for regular gas in your car. You don't ever put regular gas in your car.
Damn, which
Like,
special
it's
is that?
supposed to, it's regular, then it's the medium one, and it's petroleum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, different quality,
Gas.
whatever.
Anyway.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Anyway,
Yeah. So
they
that's
threw the regular gas at him.
yeah. He threw the regular gas at him. Teeth Man is just like tossing his teeth, and they explode as well. A more violent explosion, I think. His eye is back. I just noticed it.
Oh, it came back!
Yo, they do
Nice.
come back. Well, that's a
This
pretty.
guy's man.
That's a pretty cool power. I wouldn't want it because I'd have to break my
No.
teeth. But for a drawing to have, it's a pretty cool
Like,
power.
do you get... Is that...
That's a pretty metal ability. It rip my teeth out. It blows up. Okay, so Megumi manages to rescue himself and Remy from the explosion, holding a door back. He's just like, "Do you understand now? They'll never protect you." And he just like tries to get her to leave, and then she just stabs him with her scorpion hair, and he's like, "You need to stop." That's Megumi's reaction. Stop fucking playing with me right now. And
And then she turns fucking...
Bru-
yokai. She was full demon.
She turns into a yokai. And she goes, "Say you'll protect me and that you like me."
Ew! She's a cursed spirit.
Dude, it's rough. She looks like one of the blood womb children. Whatever.
Right, the cursed woman. She should have been on that couch with these niggas in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Where you at?
I'm on her ugly face where she's just like, "Say you'll protect me." And Megumi just looks at her, is like, "So you're like that, huh? Trash who cares more about words than deeds." And I'm like, "Damn, Megumi."
Now, he gets interrupted, but I really wanted to believe that after he finishes his statement, she would have said yes.
That's exactly who I am. I am that trash.
With the same face. Yes!
Yes!
Yes! With an H at the end.
Yes!
She's transforming.
Yeah, it's gross. She turns into a real
You
scorpion.
know, they talk weird. They're like, protect me, and that's one. He's a kind of spirit, bro. That's it.
Was this okay? So the guy who pulls up behind him, was he the guy that he choke slammed into the ground with Nue in the last chapter?
Bro, I have no idea.
I didn't hear you there.
Worth it. I have no idea. I gotta check it.
Oh yeah, well check it if you want. But anyway, so this guy pulls up and he's like, "You're not bad back there, but you're in rough shape." And they're about to fight. I guess Megumi is like just thinking 4-on-1. Oh wait, he is
sure
the guy.
is.
He's the guy.
He is the guy that got slammed.
He talks about how like it wasn't easy clambering up back here, and Megumi tells him that you should have taken the stairs, moron. Dude, how could you not like Megumi? He's awesome. He should have taken the fucking stairs, idiot.
I'm not gonna lie, he didn't like show out in this fight at all. But like,
What are you talking about?
I didn't hate him. I didn't feel like he was lame in this comic. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, okay, so
He's cool.
as
He's cool. I just want to see more out of him.
As
He's like,
Megumi,
should I use my special technique? I don't know. It's not ready yet. Whatever, nigga. You're a prodigal. You're the prodigal.
he's not the prodigal son.
Yes, he is. He's
Not really.
Megumi actually is the prodigal son.
Oh yeah, you're right. I guess to a degree.
He's the prodigal son character.
Bro, his dad had heavenly restriction while he was in the nutsack of a man with heavenly restriction.
That is true. He was in the nutsack of a man with heavenly restriction. I forgot. While Megumi is like thinking about what to do, he gets a fucking announcement by Kogane. They all do. And it announces the new rule that Itadori got from Higuruma. And man, when he hears that, Megumi just smiles and just immediately does this exaggerated kick towards this old guy. And then he uses Max Elephant to just push him out the fucking window again. This guy, again, is just like not having good luck with balconies. He's just like, damn, he's taking off again? And then all of a sudden, Megumi just lands on him, takes the hilt of his blade, and just bashes his fucking face in like in Pan's Labyrinth. Just like, bah, 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 bah. He caves this dude's face in as they land on the ground.
So it was crazy.
Yeah, Megumi is a fucking beast. And then he, I guess, throwing knives his blade at him or stabs him in the head. This guy's dead. He kills this guy. And after killing whoever this dude is, he starts thinking, he's like, what am I doing? Well, we'll need more points in the future, but there's no longer need for Sumiki to participate in the killing. Don't lose your head. Trust in the others. You don't need these guys' points. All you need to do is wave away any sparks that fly your way. And and Kogane announces that Megumi won 5 points by killing this guy. Pretty rad. And then Reggie comes down weird, like with a parrot, with like a umbrella, just like whoop, 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 like Mary Poppins. It's weird. He comes down like
he's got a very eccentric crew.
Yeah, his crew is weird. He's got the airplane guy, right? He's got the helicopter dude. Oh, airplane lady, helicopter dude. Teeth explodey man.
Teeth explodey man.
Yeah. It's really funny. Reggie comes down like, sheesh. Killed before even using his curse technique. Appalling.
He didn't even get to use his skill.
Yeah.
I know he's mad.
Yeah. So he's like, so Megumi's just thinking to himself like, shit. Did Remy leave the fight? Even if she did, it's still 2-on-1. And I'm feeling that first explosion, so I can't really flee. Maybe I should use my domain, which I can't use because last time I used it, I almost died. So, not good. This guy spits his teeth out at him, not even giving him really a chance to think. And then, before Megumi could get clapped by this explosion, this guy just comes in and tanks it to the face. And everybody's like, what? And this new character is like, 2 against 1? That doesn't seem fair. There's a word for people like you. Yeah, that's right. Cowards. And cowardly attacks don't work. See? 0 damage as he's bleeding from his head. And Megumi's in the background.
Very hurt.
What? I remember this guy.
You do?
Yeah. Way back, like right before the Culling game began, remember there was a comedian? There's the guy who had like the signs. He was doing comedy, and then like the guy backstage told him that he was a bad comic.
Oh,
I think this is him.
holy shit! I mean, who else would it be, right? I forgot all about that guy.
Honestly, it only hit me like today. I was thinking about it today. I was like, who's that guy? I feel like we may have seen him before. And then I just like, it kind of snapped to me. Because this guy comes in with a funny like entrance. He was a comedian. Yeah. And his like costume is weird. It's like funny.
Yeah, right. I mean, even the half part on him is laughing.
Yeah.
I think it's spot on. Look at his belt too.
Yeah. He has 0 points, by the way. His name is Fumihiko Takaba.
Right.
And that's where the chapter ends.
I'm sure the 0 points is due to the nature of his cursed ability.
Yeah. Oh my god. I can't wait
to see defensive.
I cannot wait to see this guy's curse technique. It's gotta be so weird. What if he's a fucking monster, dude? And he just got lucky in not killing anybody, but he's a fucking beast.
That would be really dope. Or maybe his kills don't count.
Maybe
they're only like inadvertent or something like that.
Oh,
so they don't count for points for him. I don't know.
Imagine he just accidentally kills people through slapstick, like he causes people to slip on a banana and die.
Right, and because it was an indirect kill, kind of like with Undead Unluck.
Yeah.
It doesn't get no points.
He has to hit you with a pie so hard that it caves your nose bone in. It's crazy.
Dude, when you mentioned that earlier about Pan's Labyrinth, I'm not gonna lie, for like 3 minutes when you was talking, I was just thinking about that scene when he watches his son get killed, yo. What did he say? Sorry guys, for everyone that's listening. Yeah, I gotta watch Pan's Labyrinth. This happens really early. But like, yo, the dude says like my father's not a liar or something like that, right? He says something. He doesn't say, he's not disrespectful, but he's just like, yo, like, you know, like if my dad said something that he's telling the truth, you know?
Yeah.
Bro, the general did not like that. He just kept beating his fucking face.
That's exactly
and he was
what
like, you're killing him. He's dead. And then they shot him in the... I was just like, yo, bro, he was a farmer.
Yeah.
But nigga, he was helping you out. You just mad.
Why are you just...
He was crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing here, where Megumi was just like bashing this dude in with a hilt.
Oh, he did him great. He killed him.
Yeah, I mean, dude...
Pulled out that sword from God knows where. And chopped his forehead right after.
Yeah, here's the fun thing about Jujutsu Kaisen is that there are lengthy battles in it, but everyone's going for the kill 100% of the time. No one's trying to make any prolonged battles here. They're constantly trying to kill each other.
Unless it's a specific condition, not to.
Yeah, they're always trying to hit each other as greasy and as hard as possible. And I love it. Just such a fun, visceral anime, like fighting manga. I appreciate it. As for Fumihiko, I can't wait. Obviously, I can't wait to get into his shit. It's kind of perfect that he's like paired with Megumi, because I think that will just be very funny in and of itself. Because he's the stern, serious type. But I don't know. This is very fun. The new sorcerers, for the most part, like the big guys, the named characters that we're introduced to, really are all very interesting. I'm very into it, even though we don't know much about them. It's been cool getting to know these sorcerers. But that's all I gotta say about Jujutsu Kaisen. Brian, do you have any thoughts? Are you around? Do you want to say some stuff?
I liked the chapter. It was very fun.
All right. What that be? Brilliant commentary, Brian. I guess with that being said, let's move on. Black Clover. This is Black Clover, chapter 316, / of the Unchosen. Ooh, that's clean.
The Unchosen.
Yeah, that's a clean title. Last we left off, Lucifero merged all of the demons into one big super demon that the Black Bulls fought Megazord style with the Black Bulls headquarters. Meanwhile, Asta was just chilling outside, summoning Yami's sword, and was getting ready to do a thing. And we cut back to the inside of the mech where Asta was like, if Lieb and I try, we might be able to get the captains out without hurting them. And everyone immediately is like, we're counting on you at the same time. And Asta is now outside. This is a very cool scene. I'll admit. There's a cool moment where Asta is staring into like right at the monster with Yami's sword, and he's talking to Lieb about how we could cut something like that, yeah? And Lieb is like, yeah, we can. In order to rescue Captain Yami, in order to avenge Lucida. We're not letting you into this world. And, yeah, and
Shit.
the 30-minute interval is up,
Pretty
and
gangster.
we are introduced to Asta's new demon drip.
Devil Union Demon Salasuru.
Yeah, this is a cool design.
Nah, that shit is lit.
Lots of
It's
scarves.
like effective it too.
Yeah, I like it. It's a cool design. I mean, everything that he's been doing with the Union's like designs are really cool. I'll say that he's got an eye for design. Tabata does. And then we have the big thing going, the big demon thing going up like that worm monster from Star Wars. And Asta thinks to himself, we weren't chosen by mana, and so we'll make our own choices. And he brings down his sword, and we get a crazy 2-page spread of just like a big fucking shadow slash, cutting the demon completely in half, vertically. And it basically destroys the whole fucking thing. Yami and I guess Vengeance fly out, as Yami just starts falling to the ground. Noct can't believe what he's just watching right now. He's like, whoa. I came into this arc talking so much. Yo, what the fuck? I came into this arc talking so much shit. So much shit. And
Where did that shit even come from? He didn't even see Asta do it. He just knew it. He was like, nah. G. You did it this time. Nigga said you really did it. Yami was like, he was saying that from confidence. Like, nah, man, this time, you really put us on. Like, last time, like, you don't put the team on your back before Asta, but this time,
you put it on
hand
your
it
back.
off to you.
Yeah.
Your man's over here was like, no fucking way.
Damn.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I did not know how real you were.
My sincerest apologies.
Oh, I beg your pardon, please. Oh my god. Okay, so Yami and Noct at the same time say, you really did it this time, Asta. A lot of people say the same thing at the same exact time. A lot of this series.
That happened earlier too.
And I'm like,
Asta was like, yo, I'm gonna go do this. And they was like, right.
They all said
okay.
the same sentence at the same time. And I'm like, come on, guys.
I gotta go back to that. We're counting on you.
At
All
the
of them
same
said it at the
time.
same time. Maybe they're all linked together in the head
Here's the thing.
while they're in the Black Bolt thing.
Once every supporting character starts to believe in Asta, they all enter the hive mind of believing in Asta. So, you know, they end up saying the same thing, doing the same thing. It's the hive mind of believing in Asta. It's a tough place to fall into. You're the same person now. But yeah, that's what the chapter is. Oh, also, Asta announces that his sword is not only super broken and can cut a giant demon from 17 miles away, it also doesn't cut what I don't want it to cut, which is basically what Zoro's trying to learn right now.
Oh, is that what he's trying to
Yeah,
learn?
well, he tried, but they
Get
mentioned
hard out, Zoro.
like a great swordsman could cut whatever he wanted, and not cut whatever he wanted.
True, they did make an emphasis about that when the old guy was talking, right?
Yeah,
In the village.
yeah, and he's like, I did that in like 25 minutes. Fuck you, Zoro.
With the help of my devil friend.
I figured it out, Zoro.
Fuck is you talking about? All right, obviously, with all this fun I had, this is the RGC for me.
Damn.
Certified
Yeah.
RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Well documented that I really enjoy Black Clover when it's at its like cheesiest. No, not cheesiest per se, but when it gets into its groove of its shonenness and playing to its tropes as far as like, you know, developing the main character and showing the new powers and stuff. It may not be super complex like I always say, but god damn is it a fucking show, and this guy could draw. I don't care what you say.
Oh yeah.
It's not perfect, but I really like his style. Like, and I think that's the mark of a really good artist, because you know art is super subjective, but you can see that there is level. You know what I'm saying? He's in a unique level where you know you can look like maybe conventional judgment and just say that, nah, man, I really enjoy you know what I'm seeing in front of me. Like, you know, that I know that if he made another series, I'm gonna probably get that same vibe.
Yeah.
Real quick, just an example. I got that same vibe when we read that one shot of Bench from the author of Naruto.
Kishimoto.
Yeah, Kishimoto. Can't believe I forgot his name.
Oof.
Like, even though I had nothing to do with ninjas and shit, it just felt fun and bubbly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the same way like Naruto did.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think he's in that threshold. I like Asta. He's dope, and he just cut the boss nigga in half easy mode. I mean, you know, there's more,
Yeah, definitely.
but he ended that phase. Like, you know how you go into a video game and there's like the mid boss. He said, "Finished.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Give my kudos, and what's next? He's ready for more. He's not satisfied."
Yeah. No, I agree. I've said it I think every week so far. Tabata is probably the most improved artist in by far for me. And his art was never bad, but it's so good right now. You know, like he's such a talented dude. And yeah, this is extremely shonen. I never thought I'd say this, but it might be too shonen. Where like the big Nakama moments where all the characters are now saying just the same thing at the same time. I'm just like, all right, I get it. But yeah, definitely got a kick out of this chapter. Obviously one of my favorites of the week. I just really enjoyed like the art, if anything. Asta's new demon drip is fucking awesome. The progression of the character as well is cool. Like, you always love to see Asta just kind of like improve and get better, because you know, like, he's like a character that's kind of earned it and works really hard. So as much as I have a very severe love-hate relationship with Asta, where I love what he stands for and I love what he's supposed to be, but sometimes he's too past the threshold of annoying shonen protagonist for me. But this is one of his better moments, as happens sometimes, you know. But yeah, good chapter. I don't really have much to say. It's a big action chapter. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
it's a lot of 2-page spreads, a lot of big panels just fighting this thing. Yeah, not much story really to discuss, but it was sick. And I believe with that being said, let's move on to our final series for the day. Undead Unluck. This is Undead Unluck chapter 91. Go on and play. Last we left off, the forces of Union and Under have teamed up to try and get Fuko inside the core of Spring by funneling all their attacks through the go-between that is Andy, just because they can't attack Spring directly, so they'll do it by attacking Andy first and have their attacks pass through him to get to Spring, because that's a fun loophole, I guess. So
we get to see Undead get cut up more. Why not?
More blood, more
Sure.
gore. So Rip's blades in the last chapter didn't do much, combined with the Tachyon strike from top. So, you know, they gotta do some more shit in order to get Fuko
Way more stuff.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Spring does a counterattack and causes Andy to just be shrouded in cherry blossoms. But luckily for them, Undead can just like abandon his body and make a new one. So, you know, Fuko cuts off his head, and they just play the evading game. Spring tries to bring more cherry blossoms, but they can't. He can't draw them out because the samurai lady on Under's team is Yusai, aka Undraw.
How uncouth.
How uncouth. So yeah, I guess he can't just like draw his attacks now, which is cool. So instead, I guess Spring just like makes a shield of cherry blossoms, because if you touch these things, you'll turn into a cherry blossom. So it's best not to get near it. Rip is like, fuck that shit. We'll just cut through the cherry blossoms. And then he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, I think Fuko says that. She's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Those trees are actual people. And Rip's like, so? That's semantics. It's like, no, there's not, bro. That's
Like,
people.
bro, no, they're people.
Yo, you be thirsty to do evil shit.
Soylent is people.
Soylent Green is people.
I want to go home. What class did we see that in? Was that science class?
It was probably science class. I don't know who told us.
It was we were in high school. I think it was with Dr. Opravnik, bro.
Well, Dr. Propnik was never really like a show a movie for a day kind of guy.
He wasn't. Nah, maybe it wasn't that.
Damn, taking us back to...
I seen it at school, bro.
Damn. Just think you're back. Oh, you're going to put me down memory lane. Let's continue with the chapter.
Yeah.
So at that point, Billy just shouts out, because everybody else is gassed. Billy shouts out to Tatiana and is like, "You're with Billy, ain't ya? Stuff that thing in his mouth." And stuff that thing down his mouth and bring him here quick.
That's crazy.
And Billy's like just staring at Tatiana like, "You're still here? You're not gonna go?" And then Tatiana just shoves, I guess, a biscotti down his throat. Some kind of dessert.
Yeah, like that's edible. That whole thing is edible, because otherwise she just like, I mean, she violated regardless, but like you don't put an inedible object
It's
in
edible.
another grown man's mouth without permission.
It is edible, to be fair. He's just like,
Right.
it looks like a sweet.
Man, yo, why is Japanese sweets so much cooler than ours? I mean, look how much work is into that, like, done.
I don't know what you're talking about, brother. Ain't nothing better than a good old American apple pie.
He's gonna say cheesecake or something.
A good old American pie. Pecan and apple pie. Saddling up with my apple pie and my football game. Anyway, it's revealed that apparently she and Billy made desserts all the time. But after he left, Andy started making desserts all the time. So he's like, she's like, I lied and I told him they were good, but none of them could beat yours. That's why I want you to come back so we can make desserts again. I
heard that was like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah. So
like they were bad. Should have said something.
I didn't want to make them.
Yeah, the fuck?
Yeah. So he's like, I wanted to make them, but you betrayed us for being weak. So Top Chikara and I got way stronger.
I forgot that is why he betrayed them, right? He just weren't strong enough.
Yeah. He's like, you're not strong enough to kill God, so we can't be friends. My standards for friendship are high. You got to be able to kill gods to roll with me.
It'd be yay high.
Yeah. And she's like, we got all big and strong, so you can come and join us. So I guess all I'm asking is, will you come back and fight with us? And she's actually crying through her robot. Her robot is crying, so like the metal is like bending around like a tear is building up in the metal.
Giant eyeball.
Yeah, it's cute.
Kind of scary.
Yeah,
but
I found it cute.
Why not?
And then Billy gets on one knee and he says like, you're all strong. None of you is running away from your fates. You're all doing what you need to do. So I can't afford to run away either. Otherwise, that would be unfair, wouldn't it? And he slicks back his hair.
Reverse Aizen.
Yo! Usually when somebody slicks back their hair, they turn into a real dick. But Billy is doing the reverse. He's like, and Tatiana's like, you can't come back? And he's like, no, because that's what I need to do. So I simply won't come back. But I'll help you guys. Basically. And basically he links up with Andy, and then now they have two undeads, basically, to funnel attacks through, plus other abilities like Unbalance. So Billy uses his Unbalance to rip the cherry blossom shield off of Spring, and then Andy uses his giant blood blade cool technique down on Billy, and through Billy he is able to cut Spring directly in half to the core, allowing Fuko to jump in to the core and play with Spring. In a big 2-page spread that is pretty cool, we have two characters doing vertical slashes downward to defeat their enemies. Both of them
Another bigger Sarashu.
Ooh, bigger Sarashu. And and Fuko goes into play with Spring, and that's the end of the chapter. This was the audience voted RGC first one.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
And if you guys want to cast your vote, follow us at New Jump City on Twitter, and we put the poll up every week on Sundays, a couple hours maybe after the chapters are out on the official Viz release on Sundays. So hit us up on Twitter and vote in the poll. But this was what the audience chose. A pretty modest one, honestly. To be fair, we only had like 2 votes for this, and it was 100% of the vote. Nobody voted for anybody else.
Whoa! Body bag.
Well, 2 people voted, so there's that. So yeah, cast your vote. Maybe next week we'll have more parody, but honestly, I don't blame them. This was a fun chapter to read, and I feel a little more enthused by this chapter going over it than I did initially reading it. We mentioned that last week that Undead Unluck is going through like this weird plateau where it's not necessarily as exciting as it was before, but you know what? There's still cool moments like this one. I do this thing every now and then because whenever I sense like something's off in a series, I go to check the rankings of how it's going in Jump. There's 2 things I noticed. Black Clover is one of the series kind of inching towards the bottom.
What?
Yeah. And Undead Unluck, I think, is only slightly above Black Clover in the bottom third.
Above Black Clover?
Yeah, and I've noticed that's a trend with Undead Unluck lately, where Undead Unluck has been kind of trending towards the bottom for a couple weeks now. I don't think it's canceled.
That's sliding.
Yeah, I don't think it's canceled, but I do think when that happens, like, I feel like no other artist has been really affected by, to my knowledge, by the rankings and his position on the rankings and the artist of Undead Unluck. We've seen it early on in the series where it feels like we fast forward through a lot of things to get to Billy's betrayal. Initially.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like this is a little bit might be what's happening now, because there's a lot of individual battles teased that we're suddenly not getting. A
lot of finality. I mean, Billy's switching now.
Yeah, I don't think it's canceled, but I think like he's periodically had to get his ass into gear a lot for some reason. He's Undead Unluck middles between like the middle of the pack to the end. So I guess he has reason, but you know, we've always been a fan of Undead Unluck here. And when it's allowed to just kind of chill and take its time, it's a very fun series to read overall.
Yeah.
Whatever happens with
even when they're rushing, it's still
fun, solid. You know? And whatever happens with Undead Unluck, I would read this guy's stuff again. Like if he came out with a new series, I hope they keep him around because he's obviously a talented dude. He makes fun series. This was a good one. I enjoyed it. The 2-page spread at the end was really cool.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because it's something I wanted to bring up after you finish giving your last thought.
Oh yeah, I mean those are my overall thoughts. I just wanted to share this kind of process I do with series that I have a twang of concern about. But go for it.
Okay, a fun little segment before we end off this podcast. Who did it better? Okay, Big Salashu.
Big Salashu edition.
Yes. So basically, if we, because of the nature of manga, and since we're reading Shonen Jump and there's a lot of Shonen series, they're bound to overlap with with fighting and action scenes, and sometimes you'll see similar moves come out. So with this, I have 2 screenshots of big final slash move. I'm sure that you you have in your mind. We have from Asta out of Black Clover, the Demon Slasher Infinite Slash Equinox.
Oh.
Okay. Here's the picture for that one. Bang, bang, bang.
Bang. I'll put it up here as well. Why not?
Ta-da!
I'll put it there, wherever it goes. There.
Right. Okay. And then from the series we just finished covering, Undead Unluck, it's not as clean as a 2-page, but the context between the context with the panels on the sides, add to the overall picture. So I think it's cool to call it just a 2-page spread.
Yeah, it is a 2-page spread.
All of that. So you can see how Billy touches the slash and makes it an unmoved present.
Yeah.
Very nice strategy involved. So, okay. I'm going to start this off. And then you two guys can go. And whenever you guys want me to bring up a panel, you let me know. And I'll bring it right to my screen. So, in my opinion, Black Clover's looks nicer. I like the art style a bit more. I think it's very clean and it's super duper decisive. Like, and we've definitely seen the after results of what happened, so that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Also the momentum building up to it, where he, created his new special form using the sword of Yami to free Yami. I'm taking all that.
Oh, you gotta take the context.
So the leading into it, all of that. So with just with that panel versus the other. Now, with Undead Unluck, I think the strategy involved going into it was really, really dope, whereas with Black Clover, it was none at all. I mean, they got Billy to finally stop being a dickhead. You know what I'm saying? And help real quick to bust open the super sturdy spring that's been, that may very well be the end boss. You know what I'm saying? As far as his big, bad, tough form.
Yeah.
And it's dope, And just because I think Black Clover's art is a little bit better doesn't mean it wasn't outstanding. I mean, that looks like a heavy slash, like a painful one. You can see the hurt in his face and all of that. You see the blood splattering out of your boy. It's really lit. It's really, really tough, but I had to edge it to Black Clover and half.
Yeah.
With his Equinox slash.
Oof. This is a tough one. They're both fucking rad.
Show it.
I'm gonna give mine to Undead Unluck. I think
what did it for you personally?
I think Black Clover. I think Tabata's art was technically the best one. But for me, I don't know. I guess there's bit of a stylization to Undead Unluck's art for first and foremost. I just dig it at all. Like the perspective of it, the visceralness of the creativity of the slash. Asta's is more badass, I think, in terms of just like the scale of power and the background and all that stuff, like the end result. And it might be the stronger slash, but I think as I guess an illustration, I think Undead Unluck might have a more dynamic and fun illustration for me. But
right, there is a lot going on. I really do like it. I feel like in my decision, it was for sure more of a preference thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just like the atmosphere surrounding it. But this was really dope. I mean, to even be putting it up against something like Asta's final move, this was just a creative pop. Got you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I bet you wasn't thinking about this.
Gotcha.
I hit Billy's fingers, but he still, synergized with that was sick, man. I hate to do it to them. I feel like it was like talent versus hard work.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, it's tough. It's definitely hard. I'll give you that.
It's really hard.
But please, hey, if you guys are in the comments and watching.
Yeah, you guys vote too. You know what I'm saying? I can do an explanation, or you can just write it down. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wherever you want, hit us up, whether it's in the comments or the email, newjumpcitypod@gmail.com. Tweet at us, either, whatever. However you want to communicate with us. All of our socials are up there, so let us know. And I think that's it, right? We could close this out.
Brian, if Brian has an opinion on this, I don't know. You don't have to get so in depth, but if you just say which picture you like more.
I liked Undead Unlucks more.
Yeah.
So Undead Unluck wins 2-1. See, that's the beauty of having 3 people on a pod. There's always a decisive.
There's always a decisive vote.
Unless someone pussies out, it doesn't vote.
No one's allowed to pussy out.
No one.
But all right.
The unwritten rules.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it. With that being said, I suppose we should close this out. That has been our show.
I suppose so too.
Thank you guys so much for listening. As per usual, you could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Josh is at JDCole_37 on Instagram and at NYChillin on Twitter. Brian is at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. Follow him at It's Punchline, twitch.tv/It's Punchline to watch him play video games. He's a fun boy to watch play video games, so check him out. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, especially because we do a really good chapter of the week poll where you guys get to vote on what your favorite chapter is, and we announce the results on the show. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. We do have an upcoming week off of Jump in 2 weeks. We have this week coming out, and then the week after that there will be no Jump. So if you guys have any idea for us, anything you guys want us to do that's special and fun, let us know in the comments or email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com and we'll do it. Subscribe to us, give us a like on YouTube, subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. If you prefer audio only podcasts, we are on all those platforms, and all of those platforms have every single episode of the show.
Every single episode.
Because we ran into a little copyright snafu with our first initial channel. So we started out with episode 75 on this chapter, on this channel. So we have the other 74 episodes all on iTunes for you to check out. So subscribe to us there. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you soon, New Jump citizens.
Peace out.